Americans pour through 440 million cups of coffee a day, and most get a splash of something called creamer. Flip the bottle, and the first ingredients are often water, sugar, and palm oil. Not milk, not cream. We are counting down 7 popular creamers hiding processed oils behind dairy-themed branding, plus 3 cleaner swaps. Is your creamer really cream or a disguised oil product? Let us start with number 7. Number 7, International Delight French Vanilla, is a familiar favorite in coffee aisles across America, but a closer look at the label tells a different story. Palm oil appears right after water and sugar, forming the backbone of this creamer's rich texture. Instead of real cream, the formula relies on a blend of processed oils, sweeteners, and thickeners like carrageenan and mono and diglycerides. Sodium caseinate, a milk protein, is present in tiny amounts, just enough to meet the FDA's non-dairy definition, but not enough to deliver the benefits of real dairy. The French vanilla name and dessert-like sweetness can make it easy to forget that each tablespoon brings a mix of added sugars and saturated fats. For regular coffee drinkers, those extra calories and hidden oils add up quickly, especially when multiple servings become the norm. Counting ingredients, not just calories, is the first step to seeing through the creamy disguise. Number 6, Coffee Mate Original stands as the creamer that set the standard for oil-based, non-dairy whiteners in American kitchens. What began in 1961 as a shelf-stable substitute for real cream quickly became a breakfast table staple, but the legacy comes with a complicated ingredient story. The current liquid formula lists water, corn syrup solids, and vegetable oil, usually high oleic soybean or canola, before any trace of dairy appears. Micellar casein, a milk protein, is present at no more than 2%, just enough to meet the non-dairy legal definition. For decades, Coffee Mate relied on partially hydrogenated oils, the primary source of artificial trans fat, until the FDA forced a reformulation after 2015. Today, the 0 grams trans fat claim may sound reassuring, but it does not mean the product is free from processed oils or additives like mono and diglycerides. The familiar branding and long history can make it easy to overlook the reality: a long ingredients list, hidden oils, and a formula far removed from real dairy. For anyone watching calories, cholesterol, or daily sugar intake, counting ingredients matters just as much as counting calories. Number 5, Great Value Coffee Creamer, draws shoppers with its low price tag, but the savings come with a catch. Instead of simple dairy, the ingredient list reveals a complex mix built for shelf life and cost efficiency. Corn syrup solids top the list, followed by a blend of palm oil, palm kernel oil, hydrogenated coconut oil, and soybean oil. Each of these oils is chosen for stability, not nutrition, and hydrogenated coconut signals the presence of partially hydrogenated fats, an ingredient flagged by health experts for its link to trans fat and heart risk. Sodium caseinate, a milk derivative, appears in tiny amounts, just enough to satisfy the non-dairy label requirements. For anyone on a fixed income or watching cholesterol, it is important to realize that a cheaper creamer can mean more industrial oils, more processing, and a longer ingredient list than plain half and half. Reading the label closely can help avoid hidden fats that quietly add up over time. Number 4, Starbucks Zero Creamer, stands out as a lesson in premium branding and label expectations. The front of the bottle promises zero sugar, but the ingredient list tells a more complicated story. Non-fat milk and heavy cream appear first, hinting at real dairy, yet high oleic soybean oil is included to create the creamy texture. This oil, engineered for stability, is still an industrial seed oil, added not for taste but for mouthfeel. Sweetness comes from sucralose, a calorie-free substitute, and gel-in gum is used as a thickener to mimic the richness of full-fat cream. Even with the Starbucks name and a label that suggests simplicity, the product relies on processed oils and additives to achieve its effect. For shoppers who trust premium brands to offer cleaner choices, this creamer is a reminder to read beyond the front label. Ingredient count and oil content matter more than marketing language, especially for those looking to avoid hidden fats and engineered sweeteners in their daily cup. Coming to the top 3, Dunkin' Extra Extra Creamer is engineered for indulgence, both in flavor and in serving size. The label highlights water, cane sugar, and palm oil among its leading ingredients, with whey protein and sodium caseinate added for a dairy-like effect. What sets this creamer apart is the way its extra branding encourages generous pours, often 2 or even 3 servings in a single mug. That habit compounds quickly. Each tablespoon brings a mix of cane sugar and palm oil, adding up to 4 grams of sugar and 0.5 grams of saturated fat per serving. Over the course of a week or month, frequent refills can quietly drive up calorie and fat intake, raising LDL cholesterol risk for regular users. The combination of a sweet, creamy profile and marketing that downplays serving size means the real impact is easy to underestimate. For anyone watching their health, checking both the ingredients and the math behind daily habits is essential. Number 2, Aldi Barissimo flavored creamers blends budget appeal with an ingredient list that raises more questions than answers. The packaging looks straightforward, but the formula is built around corn syrup solids and a vegetable oil mix that includes palm kernel, coconut, and soybean oils. Monoglycerides and diglycerides add to the processing, acting as emulsifiers that help keep the oils suspended, and they also introduce another layer of engineered fat. While the front label promises a creamy, comforting addition to your coffee, the reality is a product where real dairy is reduced to a trace of sodium caseinate, just enough to meet the non-dairy legal definition, but not enough to deliver the benefits of milk or cream. Recent class action lawsuits have challenged whether calling this blend a coffee creamer is misleading, since the primary fats come from industrial oils, not dairy. For anyone comparing ingredient counts, Barissimo's list is far longer and more complex than plain half and half. The practical takeaway is clear. A low price at checkout often means more hidden oils, more additives, and less transparency about what's actually in your cup. And finally, in first place, powdered creamers and generic store brands stand as the most engineered and least transparent option in the coffee aisle. These products are built for shelf life, not for ingredient simplicity. The typical ingredient list begins with corn syrup solids and hydrogenated coconut or palm kernel oil, industrial fats that deliver a creamy mouthfeel but also bring saturated fat, and in some cases, trace trans fat. Sodium caseinate, a milk protein, is included in tiny amounts to satisfy the non-dairy label, but real dairy is largely absent. Additives like dipotassium phosphate, mono and diglycerides, and silicon dioxide are used to keep the powder free-flowing and stable for months, if not years. Flavors and artificial colors round out an ingredient list that often stretches well past 10 items. For shoppers, this means the comforting promise of rich and creamy on the front hides a back label packed with processed oils and chemical stabilizers. Quick label checks become nearly impossible, and serving after serving can quietly add up to extra calories, saturated fat, and hidden additives that have little in common with real cream. For anyone looking to avoid industrial oils and keep their daily coffee habit as clean as possible, powdered and generic creamers are the clearest example of what to leave behind. Nut pods. Unsweetened steps in as a cleaner, alternative for anyone ready to leave oil-heavy creamers behind. The ingredient list is short and easy to scan: water, coconut cream, almonds, acacia gum, dipotassium phosphate, sunflower lecithin, sea salt, and gellan gum. There is no added sugar, no dairy, and none of the palm or soybean oils that dominate most mainstream options. All the fat comes from coconut cream, keeping the profile simple and plant-based. The main trade-off is taste. Nut pods is not sweet, so it will not mimic the dessert-like flavor of classic creamers. For those looking for transparency and fewer additives, this is a straightforward swap that puts label reading first. Another great option, Organic Valley Half and Half, offers the clearest example of what a real dairy creamer should look like. The ingredient list is refreshingly short, just pasture-raised milk and organic cream. There are no oils, stabilizers, or artificial flavors, and only real dairy, certified organic and non-GMO. This level of transparency makes it easy to spot a cleaner choice. If milk or cream is listed first, you're getting the simplest product possible. For anyone who drinks coffee daily, this is the most straightforward way to avoid hidden oils and engineered fats. Still, portion size matters. Even with pure ingredients, generous pours can add up in calories and saturated fat. For those seeking a truly clean, everyday creamer, Organic Valley stands as the gold standard for label simplicity and ingredient honesty. Next, Chobani Coffee Creamer offers a middle ground for those who want to move away from oil-heavy creamers but still enjoy a bit of sweetness and flavor. The ingredient list is refreshingly short for a flavored option: milk, cream, cane sugar, natural flavors, and vanilla extract. There is no sign of palm oil, soybean oil, or hydrogenated fats, just real dairy as the foundation. While cane sugar does add a few grams per serving, the absence of industrial oils and thickeners makes this a cleaner choice for anyone who is not ready to give up flavored creamer altogether. For shoppers loyal to big brands but looking for a simpler, more transparent label, this is the easiest upgrade. Choosing a product where milk and cream come first is a practical step toward cutting hidden oils and keeping ingredient counts in check. Across all 10 creamers, one pattern stands out: the simpler the ingredient list, the less likely you're drinking hidden oils and extra sugars. Labels and branding can mislead, but the truth sits on the back panel. Count ingredients, look for real dairy, and let your coffee stay clean.